Brian DeMars, and I'm here with Vintage Magic at Gen Con 2015, and I'm talking to Jack Cowell about the vintage deck that he's playing today in the vintage tournament. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing okay. 2-0, or 2-2. 2-2? Basically, I've had a good go of it against shops and lost everything else I played.
It's a rough day.
Yeah.
So, you're playing Jun. That's not typically a deck that people would think of as a vintage deck.
Right, yeah. I jump around a lot. I tend to play different things every time I play. A couple events ago, I got a junk list from my friend Sean O'Brien at Team Tusk and had a great time with it. Immediately went back to blue and lost, but other people were playing junk, and for a couple events in a row, the top 4 of our local tournaments were just junk decks and merfolk decks. And I just kind of was thinking, what beats those in Legacy, and came up with Jun. Sean came up with a pretty good first draft of the list, and I just made it greedier because it's vintage and I want to cast greedy spells. So it was straight Jun when he gave it to me. My friend Phil Thorson just came up with adding the blue cards, and surprisingly they don't really hurt the mana that much. So yeah, that's what you got.
You have 4 Death Rights.
Yeah, you got
a lot of problems.
You got the Death Rights, and you got lots of lands that can fetch them. And it's just 2 cards, and you don't always see them, so it's not that big a deal.
Let's take a look at the list. It looks like it's a blast to play. The mana looks really good. You've got all the waste effects and the basics. That seems sweet.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there was some way I could fit another basic in, maybe on the board or cutting something, but I haven't tested it a whole lot. I've just run it at 2 events. It hasn't given me too much trouble, except every time I have the Taiga, it is always cutting me off with half my hand. Something about that card. I feel like I need it, but I always hate to see it. Yeah, the first time I played this, even though there's something like 28 mana sources if you count the Death Rights, I sometimes was surprised how I wanted more. So the last time, the top is new. It's just a way to try to help, filter a little bit better. But yeah, it's a blast to play. You get to run out some ridiculous turns where you go turn 1, Lotus, Thoughtseize, him, Death Right, off a land kind of thing.
I think that's one of the things that was most interesting to me about the deck is how much hand disruption you packed into this deck. And you have Thoughtseizes, Hymns, and Lilianas.
Yeah, well, I mean, I tend to play blue in Vintage. It's one of my favorite, all the variations of big blue decks. So if I'm not going to have counter spells, I won't feel safe if I'm not, ripping their hand apart. When I played junk, I always wanted more Thoughtseizes. So I made sure at this one, and anytime you hymn somebody, it's good sauce.
Thoughtseize is a good one in Vintage. I like Thoughtseize a lot. I also noticed main deck Ancient Grudge. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
It was on the first draft that Sean shipped me, and I never questioned it, and it's just always been great. Like I said, I haven't dropped a game against shops yet. It's kind of sick and dirty in that matchup, and it's a good, when you don't have counter spells and you can just lose to a vault key. Sometimes you need a safety blanket.
So you were saying that you thought workshops were one of the better matchups?
I thought it was. It's proven to be.
So your sideboard, how do you address some of the more difficult matchups on your board?
Well, it's kind of a typical vintage board where you just bring a whole bunch of grave hate. Used to have only 2 cages and 2 jailers, but it seemed to be a lot of Oath here today, so I made that swap. I haven't actually played against it yet. Really, I just try to overload on more hand disruption and red blasts against the decks that I can't really interact with, creature-wise, and hope to find an illness in the ranks against all of the various flavors of Mentor that are running around. Didn't actually find it against. Kind of, you bring in the general good stuff. Like I said, I haven't really tested it a whole lot. It's just kind of, I took a list and just find the efficient ways. I don't mind having a million anti-artifact cards. You get things like Rakdos Charm, which are good against 2 decks, and Raptor's Cage is good against 2 decks. The main deck is pretty good against a lot. Against a lot of the fair decks, so I don't really have to worry about those, which helps.
Looks cool. Thank you for sharing it with me.
Thank you.
It's fun.
Pleasure. Now if I can just get one more win.
One more into the prize. I'm Brian DeMars. I'm here with Vintage Magic. Check out our YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube for more vintage videos, and be sure to check the website for more articles and more videos. Thanks a lot. Bye.